Hello again, it's ballisticola again. And I say again, like 5 times because I've just made this video. It took me 38 minutes and I believe I got a cold halfway through. So if I'm a bit halfway through, then that's why. So we're going to go, this is how you make a real-time clock. The clock is over there. I'm not going to fly, I'm going to be a smart ass and teleport there. So I turn my circuits on, probably. You can't see. These tell you how many times you've hit the button. Doesn't tell you if you're right or not, but the code is, as always, 1. Yeah? 8. You can outrun it and go faster. I'll show you. Watch. If I do it too fast, it can't keep up. I've hit 4 numbers now. It should be on 4. Oh, it is. It worked. Oh, it's surprised me. 6. I'm going to slow it down just so I don't break something. 7, I can't see. There you go. And then back to 4 and 5. It should be 44, but because of wiring reasons and having to make logic, I've put it on there. And that should open the door. Yay! So now I'm going to go to what is called simple clock. There it is. And as with the other videos when I was making this, I've just got to sit here, just sort of waiting. Could have made a stream, really, couldn't I? Would have been easy to explain. It would have taken as long. It would have taken as long. Making a video, you get a cold halfway through. I might intercut that later. I won't do. I'm just filling time while this loads. Can't do that. Can't do that. No. Lips have gone too dry now. Have you got a cold? I'm sitting next to a radiator, for God's sake. How do I get a cold? It's in the air. Oh, it is in the air. I think that's how it travels. Here we go. All that white should disappear. Good. Absent of everything. Let's see if the time. See, look. Why is it? Why when the first time I did the video it was on 2 something, and then I did it again. It was on. I don't understand. It must be something to uploading. We get to that bit at the end. Right, I'm going to do it as quick as I possibly can. But first I have to go away because I have to do that because nothing loads in. You have to go away from it to get it to load back in. That wasn't the 38 minutes. That was just me rambling on. Oh, there it goes. It's loaded. You can see behind there's like the switches for the digits above. Please load in. Please. Come on. Don't be stingy, game. This is ridiculous. I'm standing right next to you. I'm not restarting. Even if I carry on, I'm going to be quicker than I was earlier. Can't believe that. Come on. Maybe the heat's getting to my PlayStation. There you go. That's definitely loaded something. There we go. Right. So as with before. I'm going to stop the power and then I can demonstrate what's going on. It was easier when I finished the video. So I've got 4 solar panels, 4 batteries. So I've got 4 of those because that's the main power draw. And so nothing's on at the moment. Everything's nice and orange. I need to, so the first thing I do is power up. So that powers up this switch. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's off because I haven't actually switched that. I usually use like a button to cut it momentarily off. So there you go, everything's on now. There's your 4 digits. So I need to power the first of these switches. So there's that one. There you go. Then I put that one on. These switches need powering first before you can use them. There you go. So that does that. And you can set them. To set it, I need to turn that off because this one pulses this, and you don't want that to happen. So it is 3:26. So if I hit that one. I go to 6. I won't set the time. That just shows you that it advances it advances the minutes. That one does the 10 minutes. There you go. And the top one, I should put these like this one at the top and that one there, because sometimes I go for the wrong button. I've lost my minutes. So there you go. Basically, that's how you set each set of numbers. So at the bottom here, we've got 60 seconds. That's 10 each. 60. This one is this one here, the 10s. That's 0 to 5. And then the top one is just, it starts off at 12 there and goes all the way through to 11. And to explain, it's easier to explain now from the other video because it's not running. But every time it gets to 60 seconds, this is activated. This whole lot of switches here, there's 10 of them. When it gets to there, it activates this part of the circuit. Actually, I should explain while I'm here what these are doing down here, because you can't see, they're so close together. Find the switches so that every one of them is an auto switch. And if I stretch it out, so you know you can get them closer than that, but for demonstration, so that's how you connect the top to the modifier, and then you connect the next one. As if you've had 60 of them, I've only got 2. You connect the next one to that modifier. So when you power through, it powers up down here. You need to power actually. So if you just imagine that's like this down here is powered. So when you pulse something through there, the power goes through this switch, turns this switch on, goes through that, turns that switch on. This switch then turns off, and then this one turns on, and then it powers the next switch, and it just keeps going around in a loop every second. It ticks every second regularly. So that's the way your seconds come from. And that's what this is set up down here. There's 60 of them, all in series, so that goes back round to the first one. But this is when it gets to your minutes. So there's 10 minutes here, 0 to 9. You've got these switches. All these switches are the same switches, from hours to 10 minutes to the minutes. So what's happening is we've got the power going through. Each power is connected to an inverter. The inverter then powers the switch as it does down here, like that. Basically the same thing. That powers that switch. And if I show you, I can show you where this is the one that's on. So this is number 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the power output. That's where it's on. So I've put it. I've branched it off so you can delete stuff easily without deleting all the accidentally deleting all this, because the game is prone to that. So the power goes to the inverter. The power comes, because this one isn't on. I'll get to that in a minute, probably step by step. The power comes through, it powers that. When it gets to 60 seconds on this one, so that one pulses, you can see it goes through the back of the board. That one comes into just here, through the back. That's the only circuitry on the back is that. So that connects to this. It will activate every switch, but because every switch cannot activate this, for example, when it pulses, this switch can't activate because this here is not live, but this one can. So this is the number we're on number 3. Number 4 is next to it, obviously, and when the pulse comes through from the 60 seconds, it's allowed to come through because this number 3 is on. Number 3 will let number 4, the pulse, go through. It will turn this one on, but it will also turn number 3 off. So when the pulse comes in, it comes through here. It's simultaneously, because it's one wire, comes through here, turns that on, but turns number 3 off. So now number 4's on. As you can see, if I hit this button here, now number 4 will come on. So number 4 is on. Now number 4 powers number 5, this switch. So when the pulse comes through from the 60 seconds, it will turn off. It will turn this number 5 on. Number 5, isn't it? Yeah. Number 5, but we'll turn number 4 off. And that just carries on in series all the way down. And then when you get to this one, this is number 9. Number 9, then obviously number 8 powers number 9, but number 9 will be on, and it will go back round to number 2 because they're connected the same as every other one. But then the difference comes, and now I have to push the button a few times. So that's how a minute works, or the 10 minutes work. So now we're on, what we're on, 6. 7. 8 doesn't power anything, as if you see at the beginning of the video. 8 is just how these digits are powered all the time, and basically what I'm doing is turning when one of these numbers is activated. So 8 isn't connected to anything. You can see that here isn't connected. These are all connected to different set of switches that turn off. So number 1 is here. That wire goes through to the back and to a whole load of switches that turn off the middle ones and the 2 side ones. So I'm not switching anything on, I'm switching stuff off. It's a lot easier. 1 is the hardest. Number 8 doesn't need to do anything, so it just turns off. 2 just turns off that one and that one. And 0 is the same as 8 for that digit. The middle one isn't ever powered. You can see it's not even on there. So that's how that works. Yeah, so when we get to number 8, so we're on number 8 now. So now we're on number 9. But if I go, it's best to do it. So it goes to 2. You can see what happens. Number 3. I thought it was going to go 4. Number 4 then. Yeah. Right, so number 5. This is, well, I've got light as well. It's amazing I've got light for a video. Well done. So when it gets to 9 of the 9, this powers that switch there, and this switch here is connected to this here because it needs to be a second before this one, but otherwise it's out of sync. So when it gets to 59, that activates, and it can only advance these 10 when it gets to when 9's on. So when 9's activated, it powers that. So every 60 seconds this switch is being pulsed, but it can't go through until that is on 9. So when it goes, that will turn, it will come up here. These wires are a bit close together, I can see, but that will then pulse this. So the only way it can advance that 5 to 0 again is if that is on and it is getting to 59 seconds down here. So that would advance that. So likewise with this one, the only way it can go from 50 to making that hour free is if the 9 is on, which it is, if the 5 is on, which it is, and if that pulses down here. So when it gets to 59, that will pulse and it will complete the circuit, and it will let the power go up through here into this one here. So that will advance this one to the next one, making it free. So if I hit the button, I don't see any problems apart from that not being on or on. You have to turn it back on if you want to do it. Otherwise, it would get to 60, and then it just wouldn't work. It doesn't cycle back around again. So if I turn it on, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. They just keep going at a regular rate, and you will see that. Why is that gone to 50? Hold on. Oh, there's a problem. There's the problem with that one. When you turn it on, it pulses through here and it pushes that one back up. That's why I don't set it with that. And there's a problem there, because if I turn this on, I have to demonstrate again. I let it run, but I just got to get this up to 9. Just keep spamming it. Oh, I'm never going to get there. It will push it when it can't push it because it's not connected to anything. As long as that's off. But this will pulse that, and that 50 will now, one of these will change. That one, this one. It can't because it's not a 9. What one about? It works. I've just forgot about a little quirk of the system here. So I'm going to get it to 7 again. I'll get it to, this is what I do, I'll get it to 8. And when I hit the button, it should put it to 9. Because when I hit this, that pulses that, and that goes through the back of here and pulses this one, so it advances the second. No, I put it on 9. When did I get it on 9? How do I do it? I have to go back around again. It's a lot easier. This video's been a lot better than the other one, but I've still made a couple of mistakes. So 2, God, it's hard work, isn't it? The trouble with this game is that you can't advance more than when you hit a button. You can never go faster than, you can't just spam a button, quickly set this up, because it would. Right, so what are we on? We're on 7. So if I put it on 8, right, we're on 8. Yes, when I hit the button, it should go to 59. It says. Right, please work, because I'm not doing it again. Alright, and it didn't go to 59 for no reason at all. Why did it do that the first time? Do you know why it has? Because I haven't turned that back on. I have to leave it. It's easier to leave it. Well, anyway, when it gets to 59, that will be this one will be powered. Then it will get to 59 in seconds. Sorry, when it gets to 9 in minutes, that will be powered. That switch, that will activate this switch here. So that will pulse through here and push that 5 into 0. Also, simultaneously, this switch will be powered. This switch will be powered. It will basically the pulse will go straight through. That's a good idea, actually. I don't really need that. Yes, I do. Don't ignore what I was just about to say. You need that pulse to go through there. So that goes through here. That activates that. It changes it to 3. And I should have talked as much as I could. Okay. Right, turn it back on. Remember to turn the circuit back on. So when I hit this button, that should turn to. Alright, and it won't. I had this explained. I'll tell you what, you think this is long. You used to see the other video. Literally getting a cold halfway through. That's how long it took. Right, so demonstrate it. It demonstrated better than it did before. Right, so I'll get up to 8 again. I'll turn the circuit back on. Was it on? I thought it was on 9 then. Couple more. 6. If you do it too fast, it ignores your button press. 7. Right, 8. Is it not going to change? Good. Right, so now I turn this back on. Yes. Get it right. Right, so we're on 258. When I push the button, you'll see what how the seconds work. Please be on 259. Yes, right. I'm going to turn this torch on. It's got a bit dark now. So you can actually, it's probably better without the torch on. Sorry if it's dark, but you know, you can see this looks quite cool actually. So that's on 20 seconds, 21 seconds, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and then it comes back round again to the next 30 seconds. And when it gets to 59, it will activate that switch there and that switch there, which will complete the circuit. You can see the circuit is primed, and then it gets to 30 and it changes this one because otherwise it would be out of sync. That will go to 0 before that changes to 2 and 0. Here we go. You can just see the what happens. There you go, lights up everything. That changes to 3, just like that. I've eventually demonstrated it quite well. And then it will continue from 3 o'clock. It is 3:42 now. It's not far off, is it? So basically, these just cycle. Everything just cycles back round and around and around. The next one that's going to activate is this one, because it can only activate because that's the previous one powers that one, so it can't, Then the next one, everything is pulsing. Whenever that goes through that to there, every one of these is pulsed. It will probably demonstrate that. If you look at the top of these switches, like there, you can see that it won't pulse. It will pulse over here. So that'll pulse and that'll pulse. If you can see it. Has it got there yet? I've probably gone past. There it was. Yeah. But it can't complete the circuit, so that can't change. That can't change. The only one that can change is that one, because it's basically directly connected to there. So the next one that can change is that one. And so on and so forth. And if you were to have another set of numbers that go past 12, which doesn't exist, you'd need another 4. You need 4 switches that told you it was on 9, 5, and 11, and then whatever number you could think after that. So that will keep going. And now you've got to see, and this is the heart. This is, if I look at the ground, because the wires, if you just see what wires they are connected, I'm going to have to go over here, because you won't be able to see. From the other video, you could not see. I spent about 20 minutes trying to explain how it worked with like dead switches. I couldn't see them, they were invisible to me. Just look at the ground, don't look at the other stuff. It's level of detail. So if I stay here, yeah, see that it still does it, but I can explain. So these are the switches that control the LEDs. So you've got 4 different sections. I don't see, this is where it went bad the first time. Oh, you can still see it. So you've got one section there. You've got 3 blocks together, so they're connected to each other basically. So you've got one at the top, one in the middle, one on the bottom, and 2 on the side. They give you your numbers. So, and here are the switches. You need to have individual like switches to power, otherwise you get feedback and nothing works. So that's 0. That is connected to these inverters. These inverters are all you can't see the other 2. The game doesn't want to show them, but that's it. It won't even show that one now. All these switches are powered, and I've configured them, so there is one there, but that's the top. That's connected to the first digit at the top, then the middle, the bottom, the 2 sides. So they're always powered. So as I showed you earlier, when no power is going from these circuits here, so at the moment it's on 3. So when it's not powered, it stays on basically. If no power is going to it, everything would read 8. So what is happening is when it gets to 0, it turns off the middle one. The middle one turns off. You've got a 0, and it goes to 1. When it goes that activates through there 1. It turns off everything apart from these 2. So you've got your 1. Then with 2, you've got that one's on, that one's on, that one's off, that one's on, that one's on, that one's on, that one's off. So you've got 2 switches that connect to that. Then you've got 3, which just turns off these 2. Then you've got 4, which turns off the top one, if you could see it. These 2 here, which is it on 4 now? It is on 4, yeah. So it turns off these 2 inverters, and then that one, which is invisible. Then you've got 5, which is the opposite 2. You've got 6, which just turns off. If you could see 6, it was like that. It just turns off this one. Then you've got 7, which turns off that one, that one, that one, and that one. Leaves those 3 on to give you a 7. And then there's no 8, because if you don't give any power, it just shows 8 anyway, so there's no point of having the switch. And then you've got 9, which turns off this one here, so you get the nice 9 figure. Then you go to the 10s at 10 minutes. So you've got, if you could see it, it would be the same as this. It would be 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see there. Some aren't showing up. Actually, what does that say? There's one that's 4, but it just doesn't want to show you. These are all connected, by the way. It's similar to the other one, but all the modifiers are connected together. The power is connected at the bottom, and then you just connect that to whatever corresponding one you want to turn off. So that's the 10. Then you've got that one is exactly the same. This one is exactly the same as that one. It's just 10 minutes into it's like it's the 10 hours, that one. And then this one I can't show you. I'll have to go over here. When you get to 12, when you get to do 12, 10, 11, it's a little bit different. You have to connect them a bit differently. You can't show them if they're not there to show. Please come back. Come on, I'm not looking at anything else on the screen. Go on. I'm not looking behind me. How am I supposed to do that? I have to walk backwards. What are we on now? We're on 20 odd minutes. This is the same amount as the other video. I don't think you can do it any better. Anyway, I'm going to walk backwards. You can actually sprint backwards. Anyway, if you could see, it would have it would have the switches from the same as that. So it would have, this one is you can see there, these 2 are connected together, these 2 are connected together, these 2 are connected together. So it would have 12, so it would have a 2 there and 5 switches there for the 1 and then 2, and then probably better showing that way if they're still there themselves. Yeah, so you'd have 12, so you'd have, there's the 1, you connect that to the if I don't want to look round, but the leftmost digit, that's the 1, and then you'd have the 2 next to it, and they'd connect to the next digit to that one, and they'd be connected to the same input. So you'd have that. Then you'd have 11, which would be 2, which is 2 1s connected together to the same input, and then you'd have 1 and 0 connected together in the same input, which is how those wires are going in. If they could see them, you can't. And now I've got to turn around. So that's how that works. You just have to go off that one first to do it. And it's a pain in it when you don't show up. These will show up though for some reason. Why are these loaded? Well, that one isn't loaded, but they are there. They just don't want to show them. So it keeps ticking, and that's the problem. This is the problem here. Why is that one not? Look at that one. Just is a lone block that doesn't want to load. There's 2 actually. Luckily, I'm not going into 1 anytime soon. So this is the problem. When I turn this game off, it should carry on. If I turn it off for an hour and I come back, it would be pretty much the time would be right, but it would be in time. But if I go away for 12 hours or 6 hours or something like that, something happens in the meantime in the game or whatever system. This is the problem. What system keeps this in time? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Does it get uploaded to something and it carries it on? I mean, I can't even see my base computer, so that's how it's there somewhere. Hello, I know you're next to this rock. Is he next to that rock, or is he over there? He is, I've just seen him. He's there. Look. Spooky. Anyway, the sun's come out, so my batteries are going to get recharged again. They never get to a point where they run out. I've never come back and it's just been powered off, which it would do. Look, my switches haven't come back on. So yeah, that's the mystery. What could I do to I don't think I could do anything. the thing I will experiment with is just having 10 seconds going into 6 like this circuit is. I just need to make that again, put it down here, or put it underneath. I'd take the floor out, I don't want to delete everything. But my original clock, which I've deleted now, I just add the second hand on it. Have you seen that? I just wanted a bit more simple to test it, but it still doesn't work. Although the difference between that clock and this, I had 10 seconds and then I had 60, and I connected I connected 0 to that, or did I connect 1 to that, 2 to that. Just think of that digit here, if you can see it. If it's not, it's saying G now. Is it G? Or is that 0, you idiot? It's supposed to be 0 because it's on 0. Look a G from here. Yeah, I had that connected to, if you just imagine that one just changing every second. So I had 1, 2, 3, and it was perfect. But then you do need another set of numbers that I've just shown you behind over there. So you'd need another two rows. Oh my god, it gets a bit laggy. So that's why I took seconds off, to make it a bit easier. So I just went with 60 instead. But maybe the 60 seconds, the game can't cope with this 60-second ticker. Maybe it can cope with that. Maybe I should do that. Just like experiment. That's what the main focus of this video is, just to see not only how to make a real-time clock, but how to get it to stay in sync. Need more people experimenting. I don't know how many people would want to make this. I was getting a bit tired with it, so anyway, if you do want to make the clock, make the clock. If you do like this video, like, subscribe and share. Get it out there to see if anyone else wants to ruin their brain. And hopefully this video it's the same exact length as the other one. I've shaved off about 6 minutes. It didn't help when it didn't work, did it? Anyway, that's it. I can't be making another video. I simply cannot explain it any faster. And I'll see you in the next video. Next video is going to be a combination, like, I think, or I'll be streaming. I'll see it anyway. But anyway, that's how you make the clock. And let's see if we can figure out how to get these in sync. And I'll see you out there somewhere building this clock, probably. Bye bye.